Hi, I'm Natalie with Eminence Organic Skincare and welcome back to In the Mix. Well, today's going to be a popular topic for many of you out there, and that is how do I take care of my skin when I'm 50 and over? So we want to just break down a really good routine for you to use at home. What do the symptoms in the skin look like as we approach later years in our lives, and what kind of things can we expect, and can we correct any of these things? I think that's big questions that come all the time as we progress through our decades of life. We actually bear witness in the mirror every day of those changes. So just as a quick recap, as the aging process goes in skin, there are certain things that happen in your 20s, which is usually we see less water in our skin, looking a little bit dehydrated. Then we go to the next decade of 30, and then we might start to see those lines start to express themselves a little bit more around our eye area, and maybe around our lips as well. In the 40s, we see like another progression of that aging process. So in addition to less water in our skin and also seeing more visible signs of aging on our skin, we might now start to see what I like to call wrinkle depth. That's the wrinkles that stick around after you stop smiling, so we can also see those visible signs of aging look a little bit more permanent. And then we have the decades of 50s and plus, and that will start to just accumulate a little bit more, and we may need to start looking at adapting our home care routine to adjust while these changes are happening. So to speak more directly and specifically to when we enter that decade of 50s and beyond is really keeping in mind everything that is accumulated prior. So we have been managing and maintaining that up to this point in your home care routine. And what we will start to see is maybe a little bit of a faster progression of the visible signs of aging in our skin as well. This may also include lack of oils, so the skin may become drier, so we have that appearance of dry skin, and with appearance of dry skin we can also start to see redness in the skin as well. And just overall reminding ourselves that the skin is an organ, and like anything else, it's going to go through its own natural aging process. So when we're doing our home care routine or incorporating professional treatments for yourself, we know that different ingredients could be used, different products. You're doing upgrades, you're adding, maybe you didn't start with using serums and now you do have serums. That's really what we're going to go for today, and I'm hoping I can give you just some direction and what you'll be looking at in the mirror and when you're going to be able to make those decisions to start to do those upgrades and those changes in your skin. So when we're in the decade of 50s, we're really going to start to see changes, and primarily due to hormonal changes in the body. And I really want to make a point to share that it's not just women. Men also go through their own changes with hormones, and we do also see visible signs of aging in male skin just as in female skin, because that is just how the organ will start to age. And what are some of the things that we see in an aging skin? Obviously, the depletion of the proteins in our body and on our skin. So I'm speaking directly to like collagen and elastin. So that's just not going to be the same anymore. Those engineers in your skin that are there to signal and send messages that you need more of those proteins also start to change or degrade. So when you're looking for your home care products, we want to be looking for products that are going to help with that. So without further delay, I'm going to dive in and give you a beautiful home care routine or things to be considering if you're using Eminence and you want to add to your routine, or maybe there's something here that you wanted to know more about. So let's just get started and dive in, and we'll start with step by step. So the first step obviously is cleansing. Now you can do multiple different types of cleansing, but in specifically speaking, I start to recommend using cleansers that maybe have more than one function. So not just a cleanser, but looking at a cleanser that of course has good cleansing properties, but also looking at a physical exfoliant. And we can also look for chemical exfoliation as well. So we get kind of a double whammy in there to really get that resurfacing, that smooth finish right off the bat. And the one I really do draw to quite often is our gorgeous Monoi Age Corrective Exfoliating Cleanser. This has got a little bit of a creamier texture to it. The fragrance is amazing. It's like going on holiday in a bottle, and you are going to feel sometimes a little bit of tingling, and it's totally normal. So just wanted to give you a heads up there if you haven't had a chance to try it, and that's your next. Like I mentioned, it's going to have granule in it, so please be careful around the eye area. So once you finish the cleanse, so again, good thorough rinse, so the skin is nice and ready for the next step, you can go and choose now specialized types of toners or treatments that can go on right after you cleanse. I do recommend toners that have a little bit more weight to it or have more of a bit of an oil content in it. That way then you have more moisturizing going on. And one of our, I know this is a huge fan favorite, everybody loves it, so I brought it on board today. It's the Neroli Age Corrective Hydrating Mist. As you can see, it has a little bit more of a cloudier effect to it, which tells you immediately it's going to be more moisturizing for your skin. So great choice here. This is also a beautiful refresh and set, you know, throughout the day. Aromatically gorgeous, but a beautiful mist even over your cosmetic, or if you don't wear makeup, just to refresh the skin. Excellent, excellent choice out of all of our toners that you can choose from. Now, though you are exfoliating and you're cleansing, you can also still add an additional exfoliating treatment in your home care routine. There are different types of exfoliation treatments you can do. There are things like, we have our beautiful Arctic Berry Illuminating System. That is something that you could add in once a week. But if you want to just keep things easy, keep the skin maintaining itself very evenly throughout the week, you can use a exfoliating treatment that is basically a wipe and go. And of course, if you have seen me before, you know that I am a huge fan of our Vita Skin collection exfoliating peels, because they are formulated in the best way possible so that you can use it up to 3 times a week if you like, and you literally just have to press a cotton round on it. It'll look almost like you're putting a toner on a cotton round, and on a cleansed skin, you just wipe it and leave it. You don't have to remove anything. It is efficient, it's very effective, great for your AM or your PM, or just a little pick-me-up if you're just hanging out relaxing during the day. So this is something that I would encourage you to use. And today I'm just highlighting our Firm Skin Acai Exfoliating Peel because we are talking about skin in 50s plus. This will also encourage that maintain and delay in your skin, and also encourage the rest of the products that you use afterwards to work better for you, because a well exfoliated skin means that all your products are going to work better for you. So this is something I highly recommend. Is very efficient, easy things that you can add to your routine. In addition, they're very gentle. So as the skin gets older, as the aging happens, there can be some what we call fragility, meaning as the skin is, if we're not making the proteins not as thick and strong as it used to be, it might be a little bit more fine or more sensitized. So using gentle exfoliation treatment is also a very good direction to go with. After we exfoliate, as I mentioned, your skin's ready. So you want to dive in and get into your masks. So depending on your skin type, so I don't want to eliminate the fact that just because our skin is getting older doesn't mean that we may not be still combination or oily skins as well. So we may want to choose a mask that is maybe in a gel type formulation that will help the skin get that well-balanced effect to it as we're getting older as well. So with that in mind, I brought up our beautiful 8 Greens Masque. It is a jam jelly style, so it's really easy to use. If those of you who love our gel-based masks, this is incredible. It does have a very thin application is all that needed, but when it dries, it kind of sets nice and tight, which also gives a really nice emotional effect, knowing that the skin's getting a little bit of a lift. But your skin will definitely appear really nice and smooth. You'll see some nice brightening to the skin, and you're also going to see some hydration there as well. So excellent for my 50 pluses that are still maybe experiencing a little bit of that oiliness in your skin. And of course, we're always thinking about minimizing pores regardless. So I love using gel-based masks for especially pore minimizing in particular. To move into, let's say, your in that more normal or to the dry zone, we want to also encourage maybe using our beautiful cream-based mask. Now this says it right in the title, Bamboo Age Corrective. This is something that definitely is easy to use, super creamy, and you can massage it a little bit into your skin and work maybe those little areas that you're seeing the expression a little bit stronger. And one of my favorite little tips, if you'd like one, is if you see a line in your forehead or in the middle and it's running this way, just work with it in the opposite direction. I love using cream-based masks for this. So if you want to take that little extra love and care for your skin, I highly recommend that bamboo mask. Is fantastic. And then of course your final finishes. So these are your finishing products. These are things you want to leave on the skin. You can go with your, of course, a beautiful eye cream. I've pulled up the lavender eye cream that we use for night. It's a night eye cream because it's a little bit richer. So this is going to really ensure that when you wake up in the morning, the eyes are highly hydrated around. You're gonna have that beautiful effect. But please, if you fall in love with it at nighttime, you can still use it in the daytime, okay? I just wanted to let you know. And why we make night products is because they have that extra function that helps you with the water loss that happens when we sleep. So this will help your eyes stay really hydrated and moisturized in the morning. Literally a little half pump per eye is all you need, and it has the beautiful lavender color as well. So it has an aromatic effect as well, for a little aromatherapy for nighttime. And then you can finish with your favorite night cream that you have already, but I wanted to bring up one of our top sellers. It's our Coconut Age Corrective Moisturizer, and it is a medium to rich finish to the skin. So if you are a combination, you can add just a little bit of water with this one and still have the beautiful benefits. If not, you can just use it straight up. Very effective if you're for a normal to dry skin as well. And again, it's like going on a holiday because you have that beautiful coconut scent when you're doing the application. So I hope that today you were able to take away some great tips for your skin if you are in that 50 plus or approaching and looking at what can you do to adapt your home care routine, and some little extra things you can do for your skin throughout the week to really take it to that next level. So for all of you out there in the 50 plus, super excited for you. Please make any comments down below of your favorite mask or moisturizer that you're currently using for your skin. Love to always hear from you. And if you want to see more of these videos, please do not hesitate to hit that subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss any future In the Mix episodes. And I will catch you next time. I'm Natalie with EminenceOrganics Skincare for another In the Mix.